This is Nicole Whitney, News for the Soul, life-changing talk radio from the uplifting to the unexplained. It's a great honor to have you on the show tonight. Welcome, Deepak Chopra.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Uri.
Hi, Uri. It's Nicole Whitney calling News for the Soul. Welcome to News for the Soul, Robert Allen.
Thank you, Nicole. It's great to be here with you tonight.
Why are you here? We're talking to Carolyn Mace about Sacred Contracts, one of her many best-selling books. Welcome to the show, Greg Braden.
Well, good evening, Nicole. It's certainly a pleasure to hear your voice and a pleasure to be here tonight.
Welcome to the show, Stuart Wilde.
Thank you very much.
John Kehoe, welcome to News for the Soul.
Hey, how are you?
Next up, Dr. David Morehouse.
I'm so glad that you called me because you are doing such an important task, important work, because you are spreading a very positive message.
I was really moved by last week's show because we made a commitment to a worldwide event to try to change consciousness.
I'm feeling enormous energy around this show, just enormous. I really have to hand it to you, Nicole. You've created sort of a niche of amazing connections. It's just like the angels and the devatas that are like attracted to News for the Soul is amazing.
And we love News for the Soul.
Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Brinkley. Welcome to the Hearts and Minds of Unfoldment. This is News for the Soul.
Hello, this is Satyan Raja, and you're listening to News for the Soul. Be open in your mind, your body, your being. Allow yourself to drench in this awesome information to evolve you to your next place.
Hey, this is Dave Morehouse, and you're listening to News for the Soul.
And we're live. I'm Nicole Marie Whitney. This is News for the Soul, life-changing talk radio from the uplifting to the unexplained this Friday, the 13th, 2016. For the next hour, we're live with potentially open lines and tuning in for some nice healing vibes. Laleh Ameri is a cellular memory therapist specializing in treating prenatal and generational trauma. She's a truth seeker, interested in mysticism, shamanism. There's also been a player on the stage for her, and she's here, hopefully now on the board, and we can get things started and recheck in with her. It's been a while since we've spoken with her live. Are you there?
Yes.
Yay.
Hello, Nicole.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. And you? How are you? It's been a long time.
It has. Are you still in? I'm well, thank you. Are you still in Paris, or whereabouts are you in the world this week?
Yes, for now I'm still in France. I am actually, as I said, in the French Alps for now. But I am planning this relocation to the UK. Hopefully I will be there in September, October, I hope. So for now I am offering consultations there, but we will talk about that at the end of the show, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it's been a while since we talked. Why don't we have you take some time to remind us about your work and how you work and what you do?
As we have talked about it, I work essentially on healing trauma. I can work on any subject, any domain of a person's life that is not working for them, that is causing them to have issues that are not healing, or maybe they heal for a while, but they come back. Because at the root of all that, there is a trauma, one or several, of course, that has not been healed. Okay, so basically what I do is that I do a little digging. I go to the cause, the root cause of a person's problems, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in their job, in their health, financial problems, any subject in their life. And we will work on their feelings and emotions around that. We start at the present, and then we go back to the past, of course, and we can go, it depends actually on the person's history of trauma, their personal history, if they have had many traumas, many unresolved problems that they have not still kept in their cellular memory, they have not released them yet, then we have to go back to those traumas and heal them. And it's their body, actually, that will tell us. The traumas are in the cellular memory, and as we work on the issue that they want help with, they will maybe recall other times, other events, other people in their life that have caused them to have this problem or to feel these feelings. Like, for example, we're working on a feeling of being unsafe, and then we will find out that the person has felt unsafe in their relationship with their father. So we go back to their teenage years, or when actually they were a kid, and we work on that. And sometimes we can even, actually most of the times, it depends on the people I'm working with, of course, because if someone is very intuitive, can feel their emotions with ease, I can actually do a generational work with them, because it would be easy for them to feel the feelings of the ancestors, and we will release them, because many of the problems that we have are actually not even ours. We have inherited them from our ancestors. So it depends really on the person I'm working with, if they feel very blocked emotionally. Many people, unfortunately, are very mental, or they have learned by the society, by their parents at school or at their work, to be all the time in their head. So that's going to make it a little difficult for them to feel the feelings and emotions of the body. And I have to spend some time with them, some sessions. Sometimes it takes some sessions, several sessions, to bring them to their body so that they can feel the emotions in the cellular memory. And once they can do that easily, then it's actually better for any issue that we want to heal to work on the generational part of it, on the part that you have received, and then work on what has happened because of that in your life. So this is more or less in a nutshell what I do. And I also work on birth trauma, conception trauma, because those are also very important traumas that can repeat themselves. Actually, the principle of one of the basic principles of what I do is that traumas that are unresolved can repeat themselves. And many times a trauma that you have at the age of 40 is just a replay of something that has happened to you way before. So we just work on this chain of trauma, because they're like chained, actually. At different ages, you've had something similar that has happened with the same feeling. It's the feeling that actually is the same and will connect the traumas. So I work on those things, on those chains of traumas, to release them and to get to the beginning of the chain, actually, to neutralize it. And sometimes it's birth trauma, sometimes it's conception trauma, sometimes it's a specific trauma that has happened in utero. So the origins of traumas could be really very different. I can work on many of those. And I use many of the principles developed by the Institute for the Study of Peak States of Consciousness, and their initial method, healing method, which is the wholehearted healing. And it's based on the fact that in order to release an emotion, a stuck emotion, negative emotion, you need to feel that emotion, connect with it in your body, and then following a very simple process, we can release it. And I have talked about it a little bit when we had the session about addictions. If your listeners recall that, I presented a way of healing addictions, and I explained how you can go back and feel all the feelings that are activated when you want a substance. Whatever is a substance, when you want it to calm down, you can, of course, when this is really activated, you're needing it. Most of the time, people will not at that time go and work on it because of this psychological reversal issue and the fact that at that time, the self-sabotage is really at its peak. So the idea is to work on it when you are not feeling the craving, you don't want the substance. And so I have explained how you can start with the feeling that you had like the last time you wanted a substance and release the feelings. I just explained the basic method, but today I would like to add something more to it to make it maybe easier for people to do. And they can do that not only for addictions, but for any negative emotion that they are feeling. Any negative emotion can be released, or set of emotions, because most of the time it's not just one emotion you're feeling. You may feel one emotion, but when we release it, there is another negative emotion that is beneath it, and they are linked together until there is nothing. If you release all of them, then you will feel calm and peaceful, but sometimes it will take a while until you release all of those emotions. So I'm going to talk about this new way of doing this release of negative emotions. And as I said, you can use it for working on addictions. You can use it if you don't feel good, something has happened, like you had a fight with your sweetheart or whatever has happened to you, you don't feel very well, you can work on those emotions and on releasing those emotions with this technique. So this is also coming from the basic wholehearted healing technique that has been developed by Grant McFetridge. So what you do is that you always will focus on your body, on your physical body. A very good place to start is the solar plexus and the abdomen, your gut, which are connected to your reptilian brain. And so you think about the subject, it's good to actually have a rating. You rate your SUDS, subjective unit of distress, as we use in EFT. So on the scale of 0 to 10, you will say, okay, I feel this charge, and it's at 8, or sometimes it may be at 10 if it's really something that is recent or is really causing you some to feel some negative feelings. So you will write it down, and then you start with the first feeling. You can put your hand on your belly, and you concentrate on the issue. You can also choose. Actually, most of the time, what I'm asking from my clients is to give me a short name for the problem, like how can I call it? Like this relationship issue with John, or a breakup with John, or something like that. So you write that down, and you write the SUDS number. And then you focus on this breakup with John, and you feel in your body what it is that this is causing you as emotion. You can also feel it in your heart, but the idea is to focus on your belly or sometimes on your heart, but not in your head. This is not a process that is done through the head, because if you are intellectually feeling something, this is not called feeling. Most of the time, I really have to explain that to people. Again, this is not going to release anything, and this is not going to work on cellular memory. You really need to connect with this unpleasant feeling in your body, and I agree, it's not pleasant, and most of the time, that's why people do not want to go there and feel it, and that's the reason it stays stuck in you, and because of this trauma that is attached to you and everything that has a vibration and will attract a similar vibration to it, then you will repeat that trauma. You will attract someone else that will treat you exactly the same way as John did, or whoever is causing you relationship problems, or you will change a job, but you will find that your boss is exactly the same as your previous boss. So that is because the issue and the emotions in your cellular memory have not been released. Maybe you have worked on it psychologically, you understand the problem, but you really need to go and feel those feelings and tell yourself, okay, maybe it's a little unpleasant, but I can spend like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to work on it. And with this new process I'm giving you, it will actually be easier. So first you need to connect with the negative emotion. You feel it in your body. You feel the emotion, like I'm angry. Okay, I'm going to feel this anger. And then you will pay attention where it is, the anger. Maybe it is in your gut. Maybe it's in your throat. Maybe it's everywhere in your body. You focus on this. If there's in a specific area, you focus on that specific area. And you feel the anger in that area. And then what you will do is that you will bring love to that area. And I'm going to present an exercise that we will do today that people can use when they are doing this process, and that will be a little more helpful in order to install a symbol of love, or what I call it's a symbol of healing, actually. So I will give them a healing symbol that they can use with this process. But the gist of it is that you bring love, you feel the love in that particular area. Like if it was in your belly, you feel that even though the anger is there, but there is now love that is filling completely your belly. Every cell is in love. There's love everywhere in your cell. So you stay with that. You feel the feeling of safety and peace that will be in your cells, that love brings with itself. And then you go back to your anger. Most of the time you may feel that the intensity is not the same. It's very low. Sometimes the emotion is completely released. There is something else underneath it that you will concentrate on, that new emotion. But if there's still a residue of anger, you will, again, feel the residue. Maybe it's not in the belly anymore. Maybe now it's in the throat. So you will go, if it has changed location, you will concentrate on the new location, and you will concentrate on the residue of that anger. And then you will do the same thing. You will bring love again. So you will feel the anger for a few seconds. Okay, you will concentrate on the feeling because you need to acknowledge the feeling and then bring love. And when you bring love, do not try to replace that feeling with love, because otherwise you will empower that feeling. You will accept to be with both. The feeling of anger is there. Okay, I'll let it be there. But now I am concentrating on love because love is also present. So this is a new way of doing, a new process of doing things, which is alternating negative with positive. And it's more powerful, and it will help people to release the negative emotions way easier than only by feeling the negative feelings. So you will stay with the feeling of love for a while, and then you go back to the emotion. Let's say you had some residues of anger. Now you don't feel any anger, but now you feel sadness. There's a feeling of sadness, like in your solar plexus. So you do that again. You concentrate on the sadness. You really feel this feeling of sadness in your body, not from your head. And what I tell people is to imagine that their head, their logical mind actually, is some sort of radio station that is broadcasting continuously. You will not try to stop it, because otherwise you will reinforce it. You will just mute it, okay? So don't listen to it It will continue interpreting things, and it's not important. We're not going to listen to it. And each time you see that you're listening to thoughts about the problem, about the issue, about the emotion, just tell yourself, oh, this is the interpretation. I'm not interested in the interpretation. I'm not going to listen to it. Because this is really a consequence of the trauma. A trauma happens, something is felt in the body in terms of gestalt feeling, really. It's really in the physical body. Then it will cause an emotion in the heart, and then your mind will start to interpret and say different things and develop beliefs and draw conclusions, all of that. So if you work on the mind, this is the consequence of the initial thing that has happened in your body. That's not going to resolve anything. That's why we just ignore it, okay? We don't try to stop the mind. We just do not listen. So it may happen. You can be distracted sometimes by your mind. Just acknowledge this is a thought. It's not a feeling of the body. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not interested in interpretation. I'm not interpreting anything. I'm just feeling things that are stored in my body. And it's very easy to feel them because, as I said, it's in your cellular memory. And once one emotion is released, your body will present the next. And you will do that, the same process of feeling the emotion, then feeling the love, then going back to the emotion, going back to the love until there is another emotion. And then you continue until there is nothing. There's no emotion left. Sometimes you may recall an event, a trauma, another trauma. That means there is another event connected to this issue that you're working with. So this can be a little more complex. It's better actually to ask for help to work on it. But you can do a lot alone by using this process on this stuck emotions that you're feeling because of that specific event that has just happened to you. You can release all of these emotions, and you will feel way more peaceful. If there are other emotions connected to, other traumas connected to this event, you will not be completely peaceful. I agree. Your charge will not be at 0. But if it was at 10, it will be like at 4 or 5. So that's already a huge difference. It's way more manageable to have a SUDS level at 4 or 5 than to have it at 10. So you can still decrease the subjective unit of distress, the negative emotions that you're feeling, by doing this process. And then you can, I really suggest that you ask for help. You contact practitioners who, therapists who, like me, work on this cellular memory healing and releasing of trauma in order to work on those past events as well and to release them so that there's no charge connected to them. And sometimes you may have several events like that related to past traumas that are connected to something that has happened to you recently. So you're not only feeling the charge of what has happened recently, but all the residues of the charges of those past events as well. Okay, so that's the process that you will use in order to release negative emotions. So now I would like to do an exercise so that you can actually have this a feeling of what is a love symbol or a symbol of healing and how to use it. This will help people who would like to use this process to do that quicker. So just sit comfortably and relax. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to relax your body and to let go of all the stresses or all the feelings of discomfort you have felt during your day. And then exhale and let go of all of those feelings of stress, tension, anxiety. If you feel tension in any part of your body, you can actually imagine that when you exhale, like there are small mouths on that part of your body that are exhaling and release those tensions. You can imagine that they actually come out from the envelope of your cells on that part. Like if your stomach is tense, you can imagine when you exhale that all this tension is leaving your body. Inhale again. And now, when you exhale, let go of all of the thoughts, all the negative thoughts, judgments that you had about your day, about what happened to you, about any other person. And now you can focus your attention on your solar plexus and your belly. If there's any other residue of tension, stress, or discomfort, just let them go with the exhale. Now that you feel calmer, imagine or feel, if you cannot see anything, it's not important, it's really the feeling that is important. Imagine that there is a ball of light, pink and golden actually. A big ball of pink and golden light. Is filled with love. There is pure love in it. Unconditional love. Coming toward you. And it's now close to your body. It is covering actually all your body. And it's sending you all its love. Feel this pure love, profound feeling of love everywhere in your body, in every cell of your body. This is unconditional love. There is no agenda attached to it. Because of that, because it's so unconditional, given freely, all your body, all your cells can relax. They feel safe. This love. Because safety is also one of the qualities of love. When you feel true love, you feel safe. Feel this love that is going everywhere in every cell of your body, filling every cell of your body, and feel this safety. Like it is installing the safety again in your body, in every cell of your body. Feel totally safe. and you feel relaxed. And you can trust again when you receive such an unconditional love, such a pure and profound love. Brings trust as well. Yourselves can trust. Trust is also another quality of feel this trust everywhere in yourself. With all these rays of light and love that are filling your body, you are also filled with trust. And you feel supported and protected by this love. Feel the support and the protection of life and the universe, the source or creator, whatever name you use for it. And when you feel this love, feel calm. Because when yourself feels safe, when they can trust, they can completely open up to this love. Like your heart is completely opening up to this love. And you can now access true peace, the true feeling of peace and calm. There are feelings that most of us do not actually know, have never experienced. Feel the well-being of love, the well-being that love is bringing you. And feel the joy, the lightness. Yourself are lighter, more peaceful. And this sense of well-being is everywhere in you, your body from head to toe. Feeling of joy, ease, peaceful feeling. This is true love. So now you have experienced what is pure love, what is true love. Now we will install this symbol of love for you as your healing symbol. You can use it each time you want to release negative emotions. You will feel the negative emotion in your body for a few seconds, and then you will bring this ball of love, your healing symbol, to your body. If the negative emotion you're feeling is somewhere in your body, you will just put this ball of light on that specific location. And you will feel the peaceful feeling, the calmness, safety, and the trust that true love will bring you. I would like to also give you this possibility of having a personalized healing symbol if you would like to. If you're comfortable with this ball of pure love, you can use it as your healing symbol. If you would like to have your personal image, something you personally like, you prefer it to this ball of light, I will let you imagine that. You can use an object, you can use a pet, an animal, but do not use a loved one, because sometimes you can have mixed feelings and it's difficult to access the real feeling of love. With pets, you can do that very easily. With plants, you can do that. Or you may want to choose a symbol of heart and focus on that as your healing symbol. So I'll let you choose your own symbol if you would like to, and we will repeat that with this personalized, customized symbol of yours. So now that you have your symbol, bring it in your body. You will superimpose it on your body, and you will feel all the love it is giving you. When this love enters your cells, they feel immediately safe and peaceful and light. Feel calm, relaxed. They can trust, like they reconnect with trust. This flow of love that is coming from your personal symbol, that we're going to call your healing symbol from now on, is never ending. It's very intense. At the same time, it's very gentle. Feel all the well-being that this love is bringing you. And the joy, the happiness, satisfaction. Feel the abundance of love that you have. And it's at your disposal at any time during your day. So we are going to install this symbol from now on as your personalized symbol, if it is different from the one you had previously from the ball of light. It is your healing symbol, and you can use it to just feel love. Many times we don't know how to love each other, how to love ourselves especially. We don't know how to love others as well, but let's start with ourselves. You can use this technique to give yourself this love, to love yourself. Okay, so now start to come back to your normal state of consciousness. Start to connect with your body again, with your feet, your legs. And when you are ready, get ready and open your eyes and come back to your normal state of consciousness. Okay, so this simple exercise is, as I said, very helpful to just learn to love yourself. Many people who have experienced abuse, I give them this exercise because they don't know how to love themselves. They have taken the point of view of other people's, or the point of view that people in their past have projected to them. So they really do need to learn how to love themselves, and I think this is good for everybody. So you can use it for that. You can use it during your day if you don't feel very good physically. It can give you more energy. You will feel refreshed after doing this. And, of course, the basic use of it is for doing the process of releasing negative emotions, as I explained it. So you will focus on the emotion, and then you will bring your healing symbol and focus on the love that it is sending you. And then go back to negative emotions and do the process until you release everything. You feel calmer. If not completely calm and peaceful, you will feel calmer and certainly more peaceful. Okay, I just want to check with you, Nicole, if there is anybody who is asking any question or wants maybe
We
help
do actually have a question. Well, I feel calmer. Oh, I'm going to get in my... I was enjoying that. We had a few questions that were all the same question. So I'm just going to ask it in general terms. So when people were moving into with the intent of releasing a negative thing or a negative emotion, they were having trouble accessing love and bringing it into that space.
They had trouble accessing love, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is maybe something that you will experience if you try to go with love directly. It's harder to do. That's why I did this exercise to install a symbol of healing, a symbol of love for people, because it's easier once you have an image, a visual cue to focus on, and then feel the feeling of love it is sending you. So when you feel your negative emotion, like let's say it's sadness in your chest, okay, you will bring this healing symbol or this ball of love, you will bring it in, you'll put it on your chest, and it will penetrate your chest and send its love everywhere to the cells in your chest. You will feel the love. So this is not a mental thing. Sometimes people will try to imagine it mentally. You just feel it, really. You feel that the symbol is on your chest, and it's sending you love. You focus on the visual image or the feeling. Some people cannot visualize easily. On the feeling of the symbol, on the same feeling that you felt during this exercise. And it is, because it's your symbol of love, by default, it is sending you lots of love. That's why I use the basic symbol of a ball of love, because a ball of love will send you love. You will experience the love it is that is in the ball it contains. So if you have a personalized symbol, you will feel the love it is sending you. Like if it's your cat that you've chosen as a symbol, you will feel all the love that your cat is sending you. And it's everywhere in your chest. Even though there's sadness, and you need to remember, you do not try to remove the sadness. Never, because it will actually be stronger. It will become stronger. So even though the sadness is there, now you will focus only on the love, and the love that your cat is sending you. And you feel it everywhere, and it relaxes you. It is penetrating every cell. And every cell of your body, when it's in contact with this love, it instantly is relaxed and it feels safe. what is important is to focus on the feeling of safety and trust, because this is usually, those feelings are usually absent when there is a trauma that has happened. So the goal is to reinstall those, bring them back, and each time we are releasing a negative emotion, we focus on the love that is giving you back this safety and trust. That is very important. So I don't know if that helps people who are asking questions.
I think it addresses it very well. And, a lot of people were saying they felt the shift when you went in to focus on the pet. Yeah, very powerful.
That's a wonderful example. Pets are just fantastic. And plants also. If there's a plant like you like orchids, do it with your orchid. Just imagine it and imagine the love it is sending you. But pets are really fantastic. Even for people who have difficulty with objects, like a symbol of heart. Sometimes I use a heart symbol. Some people have difficulty with that. They cannot feel any love. But when you put a pet, instantly they feel the love that is coming from their pet, and also the love that they are themselves feeling for their pet. So that is really a very, very good symbol.
Perfect.
Okay. Is there anything else? Any other questions?
That was the primary question that we got from a few directions, so that's perfect.
Okay. So this was what I wanted to talk about today. We will not have time to finish a new topic, but I would like to start it, and we will do that next time. It's still about relationships, because I have a lot of questions. I receive a lot of questions from people who have had breakups and have difficulty dealing with it. So one of the reasons it's so painful when you have a breakup, it's because of a phenomenon that we call cords. These are energetic connections that happen between people, and of course, with someone that you've been in a relationship with, you have had certainly several cords installed between you two. So most of the time, you have the feeling that are generated by those cords that are also adding to your suffering. And I think it's very important to release those cords, to cut them, to actually, it's not cutting them, it's removing them, because it's done really in a clean way. It is removing them on both ends, from you and from the other person. And there's a process that I will present next time. This is also a process that has been developed by the Institute for the Study of Peak States, and it will help people remove those cords. And this is not only about breakups or difficulty with your loved ones. It works on any relationships, like your relationship with your boss is causing you some trouble. You can work on the cords that you will certainly have with him. And there is also part of this process that can be used on yourself, which I find really very, very interesting, and it's a very efficient way of dealing with working on your own issues, on your own relationship issues, and really getting to the core of them in a very simple way. So I will talk about that next time, and we will do it actually together. I will guide you so that you will know how to do that later on your own. This process that we are going to use is called DPR, which is called Distant Personality Release Technique. And, I think the name is actually pretty explanatory. The goal is to release the personality parts of the other person you have a cord with that you are feeling through the cord. So the goal is to release those energetic connections that a psychic can see. It can see that there's like a cord coming from your third chakra, and it's attached to someone else's, like let's say your husband, your boyfriend. We're talking about loving relationships, and it's attached to their second chakra. It can be attached to any chakra. It's not necessarily the same chakra that it's attached in you. It can also be attached to any other parts of the body, not necessarily to chakras. And so if you can see cords, if you can feel the energy of them, again, what is important is to feel the energy. It's not important. Seeing is not important. So for people who are not very visual, who cannot see images clearly, it's what is important is to really feel it. If you can feel that there's something coming from someone else, someone close to you, that is attached to any part of your body, like at that part of your body, you can feel the energy of that person. But most probably you will have a cord, and that is what you are feeling. So with DPR, we can remove the cords, and this can also help the other person. It will help both of you, because it's never good to have such connections. And they were meant to be temporary, actually. This is a way of accessing someone else's energy field and establishing a real-time connection and communication. This is the way you connect to other things like plants, and you can communicate with them. The connection with them is obviously temporary, but unfortunately for many reasons, one of them being the most important being the trauma, unresolved trauma. Sometimes we create those connections with other people, and they just don't go away. And we have to work on them directly on each cord to remove it. And the reason we create those cords are, as I explained, unresolved trauma. It's because of a trauma that resonates with someone else's trauma that we create those cords. And most of the time when those cords make you suffer, it's because they kind of reactivate that old trauma for you. So the best way to heal them is to go and access that old trauma, of course, and heal it. But that's not something you can do on your own. It's very complicated because you need to find the trauma, and it's not something easy. Even for therapists, it's not always easy to find the original trauma. But you can release the cords with DPR, with this technique. Removing the original trauma will give you a better healing because you will remove the root causes. But as I said, it's not an easy thing to do, and it will require regression. And this is not something people can do on their own. But when we use DPR, we can work on the cords, on each cord, of course, separately. You need to do a separate session on each cord. There's not a possibility of working on all the cords you have with someone in one session. And you can release them quite easily. It can be a little tricky because during this process you need to feel love for the person. Let's say you're working on a relationship, because most of the time people, couples who need counseling, who are having difficulty in their relationship or having relationship problems, they can actually benefit a lot from this process and release the issues that are at the root cause of their conflicts and their relationship problems. But one of the steps will require you to love that person that you have trouble with. Like, let's focus on a behavior they have that you cannot stand. Okay? You need to be able to love them with that behavior and not despite that. just because they have this behavior, you will love it. Love them because of that. And that is not an easy thing to do. Sometimes people will need some preparation work to go there. Like you can use EFT if you have some charge about that person, about loving them for that behavior. You can use EFT to reduce your charge about that, and then focus your attention on loving that person exactly as they are, and because they have that behavior that you're judging and you're considering bad. So we're going to talk about that next time, and I think it will be quite interesting. I will give. I hope I will have time to give 2 processes, 2 guided exercises to people, so that they can use this technique, which is very, very simple and very, very efficient. And so I thought that it would be a tool for those people who have relationship problems or are going through breakups, so that they can really finish a relationship before starting a new one.
Beautiful. And, well, I'll let everybody know that's actually 3 weeks from now, so you don't have to wait for a whole month after that exciting teaser cliffhanger moment. And we're looking forward to that. We're just a few minutes from the top, though, so let's shift into some shameless self-promotion and let people know how they can work with you.
Yeah. So I used to do consultations in London once a month, but for the month of May and June, I will not go to London, so people will still be able to work with me on Skype. If they go to livinginconsciousness.com, you can order a Skype session. It's an hour session, and we will use all of these principles to work on your issues and hopefully release all the traumas that are causing the troubles and the problems you're experiencing. So it's livinginconsciousness.com and Skype sessions. You just click there, and if you have any difficulty ordering the session via PayPal, you can contact us and we will guide you.
Beautiful. And we've got you all linked up at newsforthesoul.com. In the meantime, Laleh Ameri. Am I saying that properly now?
Yes.
Good. I had it backwards for the first 2 shows.
You learned very quickly.
Yay. That's such a beautiful name, and your energy and your work is beautiful. I'm excited about the next show 3 weeks from now.
Thank you.
And safe travels in the meantime, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes. Well, have a wonderful day, and I look forward to the next show.
As do we. Laleh Ameri, all linked up right now at newsforthesoul.com. You can hear that process again for free there. Find out her links. Go to the Shameless Self-Promotion tab and all that good stuff. Newsforthesoul.com. This is Nicole Whitney, News for the Soul, life-changing talk radio from the uplifting to the unexplained. And it's a great honor to have you on the show tonight. Welcome, Deepak Chopra.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Uri.
Hi, Uri. It's Nicole Whitney calling News for the Soul. Welcome to News for the Soul, Robert Allen.
Thank you, Nicole. It's great to be here with you tonight.
Why are you here? We're talking to Carolyn.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to News for the Soul. This is Daniel Brinkley.
This is Nicole Whitney, News for the Soul, life-changing talk radio from the uplifting to the unexplained.
Okay, everybody, take a deep breath. We know that we choose to come to this world, and we're chosen to come to this world, and we've come for breath. We breathe in for ourselves and out for spiritual unfoldment. And as we breathe these moments, let's open up our heart and open up our souls, and let the true awareness of News for the Soul make its impact now and forever.
You're now tuned into News for the Soul, life-changing talk radio from the uplifting to the unexpected.